name is Miguel Angel Ramirez. I wanted to get on here and talk about my near life and death experience. I was working for a place in Lindsay, California called the McDermott Sports Field Health Center in Lindsay, California. I was at the moment moving a piece of arcade upstairs, and I began to feel like a faint and a shortness of breath. At this time, I collapsed to the floor. I attempted to talk to one of the staff there on by the desk, and I let her know about my shortness of breath and I was feeling lightheaded. My mom picked me up because I didn't want to wait for the ambulance, so she took me to the hospital to Visalia Korea Delta in Visalia, California. At this time, I was waiting in the lobby for maybe, I want to say at least 10 to 15 minutes, and I lost conscience momentarily, and my mom woke me up while I was sitting in the lobby. At this time, I was sitting in a wheelchair that they had provided when I did walk in. They took me to one of the window offices where the secretary was asking me several questions about my pain level. At this moment, I lost consciousness. I was in and out, seeing like pictures of what was going on around me. I remember my mom saying to the doctor, my son, in Spanish, mijo, mijo. At this moment, I separated from my body. Literally separated from my body. I see my body on the floor on a gurney with my mom next to me, on my body, and the doctor. And I was descending towards the roof of the hospital, like upwards. And then like it went dark. But I don't know if it was conscious, if it was a conscious dream or like a spiritual event. That's why I'm making this video. Maybe like later on my kids or my grandkids do see it, or my family member sees it, or anybody that was probably has had similar events in their life. So back to this event, I was scared, you know, and I still had feelings like it was, even though I was separated from my body, I was still going through a thought process. So then everything got dark. Everything got dark, and I was more like surprised, like what the heck. So I had like a pixel thing came up, a see-through imagery on the bottom, and I see my son and the mother of my kids, my mom, like little pixels of events of my family that were in front of me. And then it went dark again, but these images were like in the bottom where I could view them, like right there. So it was dark. It was a dark place. I was cold too. For some reason, I could still feel I was super cold. And I don't know if this what was going on was, I don't know what it was. Like, I do not know. I never felt that what I was felt or thought what I thought at this time. So everything went dark, and then what else? I started pleading. I started pleading to God that I didn't want to die. Before I did that, though, from afar off to my right, I could hear literally like, I don't know if you guys have recently been following a page like the NASA and like space noises that they have recently discovered. But one of those noises was it was a similarity of what I heard when I was in that trifecta of moment that I was having when I had that injury and I lost consciousness. But it sounded like demons, or it sounded like just horribleness, like just it was just like scary sound, like just monsters, like just. So then I started like yelling. I said I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die. I said, God, please help me. I'm not religious. You know, I'm not super religious. You know. But at that moment in time, I did fall into like a calling of like wanting to say that at that moment in time. And I said I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die. And then a little thing of, and I screamed as much loud as I've screamed, and I haven't ever yelled that loud ever since recently I've lost my brother. And which maybe I'll talk about that too, of the dreams that I've been having since I lost my brother. But at that, back to my moment of life when I did lose conscience and I did die, or that's what the nurse in the hospital said. I had to have a pneumothorax, where they put the tube inside of your lung and they drain out the fluid and stuff. Yeah, I think I had a collapsed lung. So yeah, so when I went back to that moment of time, I screamed, I yelled, and I said I didn't want to die, I didn't want to die. And from the top, there's like a little light that just went. It got super big, and then it just got like white. My whole face got white. I didn't open up or nothing like that. The next day, I woke up. I see my mom. She was asleep in the corner with the folded chair back. And I started talking to her. And she said everything's gonna be okay. But I wanted to share that experience with you guys. And maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. You know, I don't want like, I'm not doing this to have any kind of response of any sort. And, but I just want to see if it resonates with any other people also that have shared this kind of experience. I'm already gonna be 40 something-ish. I just wanted to be a little bit more transparent about my life, just in case anything does happen to me. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening.